Hello friends, welcome to my channel Simple Gardening. Today in this video, I'll be discussing on a complete guide for growing indoor plants. The main points we will be discussing are soil requirements, planting techniques, propagating methods, plant care, watering schedule and fertilizer applications. As growing indoor plants not only give an aesthetic look for the home, but also they relaxes our mind. Coming to the house plants or indoor plants, there are many varieties of plants which can be grown indoors where we do not get any sort of direct sunlight. There are many plants like money plant, snake plant, spider plant, jade plant, crotons, etc. Now let us see what are the basic requirements for growing house plants or indoor plants. That is the soil. As we grow our indoor plants in containers, the media we use, the soil media we use should be very well draining, light in weight, and it should not contain any garden soil. Regarding the soil ratios I used, you can see on the screen. Coming to the selection of the container, whatever the size of the container you use, it doesn't matter, but the container should contain many drainage holes or else there will be a problem of waterlogging. It should be very easy to drain out the whole water whatever you irrigate for the plant. Regarding the planting technique, if you had purchased a plant from your local nursery, just take the plant and please ensure not to water your plant before planting into the container, because if you irrigate your plant, the soil becomes so moist, and while you are transplanting it into a container, the soil will get apart from the root system and there will be a damage to your root. Once you have removed the plant from the cover, place the root ball, place the plant in exactly the middle portion of the pot and fill it with our homemade soil media or whatever the media you have. And we have to ensure that there are no air pockets. In order to achieve that, we have to press firmly but not heavily. We need to press firmly so that all the air pockets will be completely eliminated from the pot. Once transplanting your plant into a container is completed, next what we have to do is water it very well. Please ensure water completely, the soil gets soaked in the water and the water comes out of the drainage hole perfectly. Keep the plant outside for a day so that the water completely leach out of the pot, and it's not required to add any fertilizer at this moment. Now let us see how we can propagate our indoor plants in a very easy method. It is not a must to purchase every single indoor plant from local nursery. There are many ways to procure the plant. You can get the plants, or else you can propagate the plants from your existing plants, or else from your family and friends or your neighbors, etc. What you have to do is find a plant which is very well settled in the soil or else in the container. See, this is a snake plant. Since the snake plant is having a lot of runners, what I have done is I have taken young runners which are not very much developed. You have to take tender runners. Just you can pluck it from the soil. It comes very easily. Just a little bit of root is enough for them to survive and multiply later in the pot. Snake plants are a very good indoor plant as they require very less direct or indirect light. They can even grow literally in darkness. And the major advantage of growing snake plant in home is they are the best oxygen emitters, which happens even during the nights. So a bedroom having 2 or 3 plants can suffice the oxygen requirement of 4 people. Well, this is also a snake plant, but it's a shorter version of a snake plant. Scientifically it is called a Sansevieria trifolia. These are very lovely plants. They grow in bushes sort of thing. They multiply in the pot. Like if you plant a single plant in a pot, and within a period of 4 to 5 months, the complete pot will be filled with plants. And next, the most famous and the most common indoor plant is the money plant. If you want to propagate a money plant, that's the easiest thing on the earth. As the money plant grows in a form of vine, so it requires a supporting structure for it to grow properly. And this is my jade plant. It's also called as lucky plant. And usually, as per the Chinese, this is a auspicious plant for them. However, it makes a very lovely indoor plant. These jade plants make a very good hanging plants. You can hang them in a pot and they look absolutely fantastic. Now I'll show you how to propagate a money plant and a ice jade plant. 99% of indoor plants can be propagated through cuttings and runners. So regarding money plant and jade plant, what you have to do is you have to select a stem which is at least a thickness of a pencil. You cut it and just place it in water. Before placing in water, what I'm doing is I'm adding a little bit of honey. Honey acts as a very good rooting hormone. Once you mix the water completely, place the money plant or else the jade plant into the water. See, you can see a small root nodule and from there you will get the roots. Whereas for the jade, wherever there is a node, the leaf node, the roots will emerge from that place. Yes, from that place, the roots will emerge. It takes a time of 7 to 10 days for the roots to emerge. Once the roots are emerged, you can just plant it into the soil. And the second method is directly placing the cutting into the soil. When we are placing in the soil, we have to ensure the cutting is having some sort of nodes. Either it is a stem nodes or else the leaf nodes, or at the end, at least a root node. Always ensure when you are directly placing your cuttings into the soil, please ensure that the cutting is at least it's having a thickness of pencil. If it is lesser than that, there will be a chance of just rotting in the soil. If it is a pencil thickness, automatically the food present in the leaves or else the stem will be diverted into the development of roots. Here I am placing the jade plant or else the jade cutting directly into the soil, and within a period of 7 to 10 days I can ensure there will be the presence of new roots. And once you place, it's better to spray some moisture into the soil, or else you can irrigate with your rose can. Within a period of 10 days, you can transplant them into an individual container. Now let us see how we need to take care of the plants or the maintenance we need to carry on. For an indoor plant, if it wants to be healthy, it requires water, fertilizer, a good maintenance, as well as it requires humidity too. So in order to provide humidity for your plants, you can spray some water once in a week or twice or thrice in a week. It helps to keep the plant humidified and it helps in new growth as well. Regarding moisture maintenance, I'll show you a small trick. For any home gardener who grows indoor plants, it's always a $100 question. When should I irrigate my indoor plants? There is a small trick. Just insert your index finger into the soil, and if you feel it dry, then you can irrigate. But for indoor plants, there is some other technique where you need to irrigate. Well, this is a simple moisture meter. It tells us how much water we need to apply and when we need to apply. This is having two probes. We need to just insert till the base of the pot. If a pot is bigger, till to the end of the probe. Then if it is showing, see there you can see moisture, light and pH. Okay, these things can be estimated with this small machine. Regarding moisture, you have to insert the probes into the deep soil, and see here, it is showing wet, which means the bottom layer of the pot is containing ample moisture. The machine is showing 100% of moisture availability at the bottom of the pot. Now remove the probe, just wipe it off with a paper towel, and we have to insert till to the middle of the pot, not to the deep end of the pot, but exactly to the middle of the pot, and we can estimate how much moisture is there. Now we can see here it is around 60% of moisture. You can see here from a scale of 1 to 10, the needle is just pointing in between 5 to 6, which means 55 to 60% of moisture is available near to the middle part of the root zone. Now let us remove it and insert to a depth of just 4 inches where the superficial roots are present, and you can see the moisture is between 1 and 2%. It means only the top layer is a bit dry. The 4 inches depth of the pot is dry, whereas the 60% and the 100% depth are having more moisture. So what we have to do is we need to just irrigate lightly. It doesn't require to drain the water out of the pot. Just irrigate lightly. That's sufficient for the plant to survive. By this method, we can estimate the moisture requirement of indoor plants and can prevent the plant from waterlogging conditions or root rot due to high moisture present in the pot. Depending upon the size of the pot, please ensure to irrigate once in a week or twice in a week, but don't irrigate regularly because indoor plants doesn't get direct sunlight. So we need to be very careful regarding our watering schedule. Now let us see about the fertilizer schedule for indoor plants. Whatever the type of plant, whether it's an outdoor or else an indoor, a plant requires a minimum fertilizing schedule in order to develop, propagate its life cycle. So, for any house plant, we need to supply some sort of minimal nutrition. Here, I am applying some neem cake, which is having some sort of 5% of nitrogen and 1% of phosphorus and 2% of potassium. So basically indoor plants, the main objective of indoor plants is the leaves. If the leaves look beautiful, then everyone is happy. So apply a fertilizer which is having high nitrogen, but we need to apply it once in 2 months, not once in 1 month or else once in 15 days, because the plant has to grow slowly. It should not just jump into a high development stage. It has to develop slowly. So just apply a handful of nitrogen or else neem cake fertilizer or bone meal, etc., and just irrigate lightly. The plants will grow slowly. Always ensure house plant should grow in a very slow and steady manner. Regarding spraying of any sort of pest control measures using pesticides, with my experience, indoor plants have 0% of pest pressure, so it's not required to spray any sort of pesticides. So friends, growing indoor plants is a beautiful thing. It not only supplies oxygen for us in the house, at the same time it gives a very lovely and beautiful look for the home. It gives a very lovely aesthetic sense. There are some enthusiastic gardeners who make their home into a indoor forest. It's their likeness, and that gives a very happy look to the home as well as to inner self. So friends, growing indoor plants is very easy. Why don't you give a try? And friends, thanks for watching this video. If you like this video, please like, share, comment and subscribe to my channel Simple Gardening. Have a happy weekend. Thanks for watching.